Hey guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're taking a look at the Sanrenmu 9011. It's the big brother of the 6029. Is it the 6029? I keep getting that number wrong. Yeah, 6029, of which I had one or two of them. And the 6029 looks exactly like this, at least on this side of the knife. The pocket clip is a slightly different shaped one, but the whole thing together is shorter than just the handle. So it's quite the tiny brother of the 9011. So what we have is a liner lock knife, 12C27 stainless steel blade, which we see a lot with Sanrenmu, and G10 handle scales, right and left tip up option with those. And it's got a secondary lock, different than we've seen before. So let's get this thing on a tabletop and do a nice close review of the 9011 by Sanrenmu, and I got mine at GearBest. Check it out. So this is yet another in that series of newer knives that are coming out by Sanrenmu, and they're coming out with two different styles of branding. There's the version with the Chinese letters like this, and then there's the version where it says SRM on this side of the handle right here, in the same kind of thick letters. Otherwise, it's the exact same knife. It's got the exact same model number and exact same construction. It's just targeting two different customer bases, and that's why one of them's got the Chinese characters and the other one's got just the letters SRM. So you can get them from both places, but I got mine from GearBest, which has the Chinese characters here. 12C27 stainless steel, which is a common knife blade steel that Sanrenmu is using lately. Backspacer is all the way from the stop pin all the way back, just like it is on the miniature 6029 model. And it's got a little bit of skeletonizing in there. I'll show you that once I've taken it apart. The pocket clip is right or left in the tip-up orientation, and you can see it cut out right there. Notice it's rounded on both ends, so hopefully, and I'm going to look for one, I'm going to try to find a deep carry pocket clip, because while I like it being left and right, that's good, I'd rather have it deep carry instead of almost showing a knife out of the pocket, almost showing an inch out of the pocket. I would rather have it just be a half an inch or less. Let's take a look at what it looks like in the pocket, since we're talking about it. And it goes into the pocket, sinks all the way to the bottom, and yes, there you go, an inch, a little over 2 centimeters sticking out. Now that makes it very easy to grab, because you've got the texture of 3 screws right there, and then on the other side, you've got the texture of the little bit of a cutout. It is a easy knife to get in and out of the pocket, which I really like. I just prefer a little deeper carry. You've got the G10 cutaway here for where the lanyard hole is, and it's like a tube. That's really nice, easy to use, so the lanyard cable or cordage isn't going to puff up out around the handle, so I really like how they made that right at the very end. Thumb riser with jimping, and then another dip here for your thumb, so you can use it like this, or if you really want to get aggressive and maybe more delicate with the tip, you can do it like that. Get your thumb up here. Pinch grip works very well. The reverse grip works okay. Just don't put your thumb right over the end of it. It works sort of, but not great. But you can get a good grip on the reverse grip, pushing or a pulling cut. We've got a high saber grind. That's a high flat grind, which is really nice. Nice sharpness choil there. A little bit of a recurve on this blade before you get to the belly, and a fairly sturdy tip right there. The thumb studs are the same style we've seen on a number of knives by Sanrenmu lately, and it's that sort of honeycomb kind of shape where it just gets smaller and smaller, and it's sort of rounded. But being how far away it is from the handle, especially on this side, allows you to make this smaller thumb stud and still make it very easy to deploy the blade. No problem at all with the right or left hand. Now the only thing left to talk about is this little lock and the way this lock works. Let's see if I can get some good light in here. Okay, and the way that works, you can see just on the other side of my finger there's that little piece of shiny steel right at the end. That, if it slides forward, now this lock arm is inhibited from moving over, and I just can't push it over. And I pull that back, and now I can push it right over on top of that piece of steel. So that's all that does, is it moves a piece of steel in the way of that liner lock, and then that will stop the liner lock from being released. So it's a good design. I like that it takes a bit of push to get it to move. So I've not accidentally turned it on or put it in the lock position. So it hasn't gotten in my way. People who like that kind of system, there you go. It's a plus for you. And for the rest of us, it's not enough of a pain to need to get rid of it. But you could easily just take that mechanism out when you take the knife apart. So torque's everywhere. It's a locked pivot screw, so it's not free spinning. Works really well. Let me take it apart and show you the insides of this knife now. Okay, here we are in the inside of the knife, if you can sort of see it. The lighting's just kind of odd, but we'll do the best we can. So here's the backspacer, the G10 backspacer. And so there's the main pivot screw, and it also has sort of that deep, it's got that same silicone so there you go. You get one of those on each side. And okay, so you've seen the insides of the knife. Now it's time to do all the dimensions, and we'll zoom in for some of that. The cutting edge is 8 centimeters, 3.15 inches. Blade length, so tip of the edge to the closest spot on the steel liner, is 8.45 centimeters, which is 3.33 inches. The blade thickness is 3 millimeters, that's 0.118 inches. The blade depth is 2.49 centimeters, that's 0.98 of an inch, so just about an inch there. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, about an inch from the sharpener's choil, so right where my finger is, 0.42 millimeters, that's 0.0165 inches, nice and thin behind the grind. And for this style and size knife, and for its purpose, which I think is sort of a general EDC, that's really, really good. The grind angle is 20.3 degrees on one side and 19.8 degrees on the other side. Bravo, Sanrenmu, you've done a great job. You're off by, at most, 0.3 of a degree. Not bad at all. And the cutting edge is in good nick right now. I've used it. I've not sharpened this knife yet. All I've done is measure that edge, and I've used it for a fair bit of cutting, and the edge still works. The very, very slight recurve that you see there is not significant at all. You don't need to take any special precautions when sharpening. Well, not really, just a little bit of a precaution when you're sharpening, and that's about it. It's not going to get in your way. And if you want it to go flat, just pay some extra attention to the heel of the knife right here, and pretty soon you'll have gotten rid of the recurve completely, if that's what you want to do. Now, more measurements. The handle depth, and I used the liner, since see the liner sticks out further than the G10, so the liner size from end to end here is 11.95 centimeters, that's 4.71 inches. The grip area between my thumbs is 9.9 centimeters, 3.9 inches. The handle thickness, where there's no pocket clip or lock or anything, is 1.24 centimeters. That's 0.49 of an inch, so just under half an inch. The handle depth is biggest right here, 2.69 centimeters, 1.06 inches. And with the knife closed, the biggest point is right there, 3.3 centimeters, 1.3 inches. Total length of this knife, whoops, with the blade deployed, is 20.3 centimeters, 8-inch long knife. The balance point, and I'm going to use my finger here on this side, just so that I can't use that lock to lean on. So there you go, it's right there. Not bad. I'd like it to be a tiny bit forward of that, but not much at all. So that's really, really good. How much does this knife weigh? It's 122 grams, 4.35 ounces. Not bad. How much does it cost? Well, at GearBest, you can get it for $24.90. So basically 25 US dollars, a little over 33 Canadian dollars, almost 21 euros, and just under 20 British pounds. And there's like $1 or less shipping cost with this knife. Not bad. I didn't find any other stores that have this, or very few, but whatever I can find, I'll put down in the links below. If you use my GearBest links, it does help this channel an awful lot. So thank you very much for that. And you'll notice I'll have links that say browser. That is, if you're watching this like on a regular computer, you can just click the link and start getting in that way. My electricity went out. Well, I think you can still see this good enough. And the other will say app. If you're watching this on a mobile device, go ahead and install the GearBest app. Go to the App Store, the Play Store, whichever you have, and get the GearBest app. And that way, once you click that link that I have down below, it'll open up a browser. And on that page, you'll have a little button at the top right-hand corner to say open the app. And then it'll open the app. And then you'll be giving me a little bit of a credit if you end up buying that product or anything else. If you end up buying anything from GearBest on that visit. It's a little bit of a rigmarole, but that's the best I can do for those people who are on cell phones, which is more than half of you viewers. So I got to say thank you to you guys who are watching on cell phones. Thank you very, very much. That's one of the reasons why I'm making the text really big when I'm giving you the numbers, because you're just watching on a small screen. So the unique features of this, well, it's got this lock on the side here, and the way it works, it's not totally unique, but it's not super common. That's a good thing. I like a knife that's, I've done so many flippers lately. I like doing thumb stud knives, which I've done a few of lately, but I like that. For the size, the weight is great. The balance is great. The cutting edge is very good. Easy to release the knife when you want to, because you get that jimping right there, and it just works every single time. Easy access to those thumb studs. The lanyard hole feature is really good. Big back spacer makes it easy to clean. Yes, that's what I said, and it does. You just put a cotton swab in there and wipe it out. And I really like this. The only con isn't a major con. I just would like a deep carry pocket clip, and that's a pretty standard size. I'm sure I can find one to put in here. So thank you to all my subscribers and everything. My video announcing who's the Patreon winner should be coming out on Tuesday. Today, my dog got attacked by the neighbor's dog, and so I'm being delayed with this video. It's taking me longer to record it. I'm sure it's going to take me longer to edit and stuff. From where I'm sitting right now, my dog is still at the vet's. I should be picking him up in about an hour. And he just has, if this is his mouth, his lower jaw, his mouth tore right at the end of the mouth opening. So to make his smile bigger, yeah, he got chewed on by a great big Labrador, a big black lab from next door. But the owner is a good guy, and he's doing. I expect that he's going to do right by my vet costs and help cover some of that expense, if not all of it. So that just explains why I might be a little bit behind on some stuff. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, guys, watch a little bit of a cut test demonstration. And then, yeah, I've made this edge pretty dull. I've used it a fair bit on a fair bit of tests. I guess I could, strop it a bit. But it's not cutting that great anymore. But that's because I test all of my knives before I do the videos. I use them to cut a lot of cardboard and stuff. Even if it's a steel I've used often, even if it's a brand I've seen a whole lot of, you just never know how a certain knife is going to feel in the hand and how it's going to work out. So I test every single one of them. So remember, guys, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.